You may say that it is President's Day, but it felt more like Independence Day for computer users. Today, many staged protests around the country and here in the Bay Area over having to pay for something they don't want and don't use. Microsoft's operating system. ABC 7's Greg Goudelet is live in our South Bay Bureau with the details. Greg?
Well, normally we think of Windows or Macintosh as the operating system for our computers, but many people don't like it. There are smaller systems out there that many people prefer, and they say if they don't use Windows, why should they have to pay for it? Well, today they started demanding their money back.
So if Microsoft does not give refunds...
Like a pack of cyber hounds surrounding a treed bear, protesters cornered a Microsoft spokesman. Angry because their computers came preloaded with Windows, something they don't want and don't want to pay for. More than 100 people who don't do Windows marched to Microsoft's company headquarters in Foster City, demanding refunds.
People are trying to get their money back for things that they're not going to use and didn't want to pay for in the first place. That's something that makes me happy. I hope that Microsoft realizes, that these business practices are forcing people to waste their money.
We protest being forced to pay twice for something that we never use.
We ain't willing to comply because we don't want their Windows, and we want our money back.
Windows is an operating system. Basically, it tells your computer how to work. But there are other such systems, and these protesters say they never use the Windows that came with their computers, preferring alternatives like Linux, which is available free, and some say is simpler and more secure. Microsoft calls it cyberbabble.
I think fundamentally what today is about is a PR activity being used by some Linux enthusiasts to generate interest in their product.
Microsoft says it's up to computer makers, not them, to give buyers refunds. Protesters say they're just getting the runaround.
And the computer manufacturers say, well, it's not our problem, you have to talk to Microsoft. In enlightened circles, this is called a catch-22.
And protesters figure Microsoft owes each of them about $50. However, again, the company says it's up to the computer companies to repay them. The company says it's always happy to talk with people and did talk to them outside for a while. But when the protesters tried to go upstairs to corporate offices, they said no. Reporting live from San Jose, I'm Greg Goudelet, ABC 7 News.
Okay, Greg, thanks.
Still ahead. Protesters say most who ask get the runaround, which goes like this.
Well, calling your reseller is the way to go.
Okay. They sent me to you folks.
Well, it might be something you have to go back to him and say, well...
And the manufacturers are saying you have to deal with Microsoft on this, so it's a catch-22.
The protesters are users of an operating system called Linux. 30 years ago, this might have been a demonstration against the war outside an Army recruiting station. But in 1999, in Silicon Valley, the protesters have gone high-tech. Their cause is technology, not peace. But like the Vietnam protesters, they believe right is on their side.
There are things we believe in. We believe in openness. We believe in high quality. We believe in good engineering. We believe in software that's produced from passion, from belief, from love. And that's what this is all about.
And this group shows that if you can love software, you can and will fight for your beliefs. In Foster City, Tony Rusomano, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Protests calling attention to some big issues facing Microsoft. Some computer users who don't want Windows 98 on their computers want a refund for the software they say they're forced to pay for. High-tech business reporter Jim Goldman has the story from our San Jose News Center.
These people don't just dislike Microsoft, they want a refund, and they may indeed have a legal leg to stand on.
We don't want their Windows, and we want our money back.
The protest was organized by a group supporting a free alternative operating system called Linux that works on most PCs. It also happens to be in direct competition with Windows 98. Linux is also gaining in popularity, but still mostly an operating system for hardcore computer users. 60 computer makers from 14 countries now sell systems with Linux pre-installed, just as Compaq or Dell sell computers with Windows 98 already loaded. The refund demand was really a stunt to let consumers know there is indeed a choice to Microsoft.
When you call a manufacturer, when you talk to someone, that Windows isn't your only alternative.
Microsoft mostly took the PR nightmare in stride, even displaying a welcome sign to the Linux community. Protesters were not amused.
You could be looking at a class action suit.
They even tried to get up to the company's 9th floor offices.
So you're not letting the people upstairs to
No, it's a business day. There's a lot of people working upstairs.
but were prevented from getting inside.
The message is it's okay to take your money, but it's not okay to listen to you or to pay attention to their own licenses.
For its part, Microsoft says consumers are free to choose whatever operating system they want, and policies are already in place to get that refund.
The license agreement that comes with Windows clearly states that if you do want a refund on the copy of Windows that comes with your PC, that's fine. There's nothing preventing you from doing that. You just go and contact your PC manufacturer, and they handle the process and policy for that return.
In enlightened circles, this is called a catch-22.
This subdued protest will not end here. Organizers hope to create somewhat of a groundswell to pressure Microsoft into a new refunding program. But with 25 million copies of Windows 98 already licensed, at least at this stage, it appears Microsoft has little to worry about. In Foster City, I'm Jim Goldman, News Center 4.
For the record, Linux was created by Linus Torvalds, and it's free. It's out there on the internet. Nobody owns it. Still to come, users held a demonstration today in front of Microsoft's West Coast office in Foster City. They want Microsoft to give them a refund. The demonstrators say that they bought computers with Windows 95 already installed, but they never used Microsoft's operating system because they prefer something called Linux instead. The demonstrators said that Microsoft promised refunds for unused Windows software, but they say that they cannot collect, claiming that Microsoft told them to get the refund from the computer maker, and the computer makers told them it must come from Microsoft.